Hey guys, thanks for tuning in, not that you had a choice. I know that this video was supposed to be dumb girl reads mean things her exes and girls that don't like her have said to her. But, I decided to, kind of tell everybody what's been going on with me for the past 4 months of my life. So just really briefly, I moved to Florida back in July. For a couple months, and then I came home, well, like literally just a month. I moved to Florida for a month in July, and I came home in August. Right before I had left, I had met this guy, and the way that we had gotten together was like kind of weird. Like, we weren't seeing each other then, but like we were just hanging out and like talking and stuff, because I was seeing a guy, and the girl that he was dating were sleeping together, so we were both getting cheated on. And so we were kind of like, well, let's just go out and see like where this goes, whatever. And that was right before I left, so probably in June. So then I left, and I went to Florida, and during that time while I was in Florida, he would message me and like be like, oh, I miss you, you're so beautiful, whatever. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't care. I didn't give it any merit. It like didn't matter to me. But when I came home, I was in like a really vulnerable place. I was really sad, and like I thought moving to Florida would like help me somehow, and it didn't. And then I came home and I was really sad, and like I was just in a bad place, and obviously I'm still really sad. And I get really sad sometimes, as I've said like 4 times now, and I do this thing where I have like one good week. So basically for that week I'll do whatever I want, and at the end of that week, then like that's when I'm gonna decide like if my week and my life was good enough for me to continue to like want to keep living. And that's really hard to explain, but I just struggle a lot with my mental health, and like the way our government is, I can't afford insurance and I can't afford to go get actual help. So I just do my best. And so I met this guy again. So I come home, and he caught me like right in the middle of my last good week. And so he had hit me up and hit me up and hit me up and begged me to hang out and begged me to hang out. And I had said no so many times. And then finally I was just like, you know what? Like, you're so annoying. Like, I will hang out with you just so you'll stop bothering me. And from the second that I met him, I was in love. And everything seemed really good at first. We had all the same friends, and we knew all the same people. And I just felt like he was like the boy version of me. All the best parts of myself, I felt like, were in him. He made me laugh, and he was funny, and we just always had a really good time together. And then that's when slowly but surely I started noticing that things weren't okay. I would like pass out or whatever, and I would wake up the next day and like not have known what happened. But I would wake up with like these bruises and like headaches, and you know, feeling kind of uncomfortable about things, because like I knew something was wrong, but I was scared. And I didn't know the extent of what was going to happen. The very first time I remember him hurting me was right after we met, probably 4 or 5 days after we met. And that doesn't seem like a long time, but when you spend literally every single second of every single day with someone, like, it's just weird. It was so weird. It was so weird how time passed so slowly but so quickly, and none of it made sense. None of it made sense, and I didn't care, and I was so happy. And it felt real. It felt real for the first time in my life. I felt like I had found something real. But then we had gotten in a fight about something stupid that I don't even remember what it was now. But I remember being so afraid of him. I remember being so afraid of him that I was running across my friend's front yard, and I just remember him tackling me and grabbing me by the hair of my head and dragging me back to my car and shoving me in my car. And I remember just sitting in the floorboard of my car crying, just begging him, you know, like, please stop. Like, I won't tell anybody what you've done. Like, it'll be okay. I promise nothing bad will happen. Whatever. And then we woke up the next day and he acted like nothing had happened. And so then in my mind, it made me second guess myself. Like, did that really happen? Like, was that real? And I asked him about it one time, and then, so like this occurred very frequently after that time. He would push me around or drag me around places. He hit my head off my car window and knocked me out outside of my work and made me quit my job, gave me a concussion. They had to call an ambulance and the police. Somehow he convinced them that I was fine. Put me in the car, took me to my grandparents' house, and forced me to go to a mental institution. Because at that time, I thought I was the crazy one. I thought there was something wrong with me. I didn't understand why he didn't love me. I didn't understand how he could look me in the face and tell me that I was his everything and that he had never loved anyone the way he loved me before, and that I changed his life and that I was saving him and he was saving me, and he was hurting me. He was hurting me. And so I went to a mental institution. I was there for a while. Then I got out and I was on medicine and I wasn't drinking at all. So then, like, what he would tell our friends, even our friends thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. But he actually dragged me around by the hair of my head and hit my head off a bunch of stuff at my friend's house, and her 2 kids saw. And that's when finally, like, I was sober and I knew it was him. I knew it was him. Because he really made me believe that it was me, and he was telling people when I was in the hospital, like, all these lies and all these crazy things about me. And, you know, like, when he would hurt me like that, I would defend myself, obviously. So he would have, like, defensive wounds. He busted my car windshield out and told people that I had done it, and then didn't admit it to me for months. Made me think it was me. I hated myself. He took so much from me. Intangible things. Priceless things. My identity, my sense of safety, my self-worth. I couldn't even look in the mirror. And I lost so many people. But the hardest person that I lost was myself. I don't know when I'll get her back. So I gets out of the hospital and he asked me to move to Cincinnati with him. And keep in mind, like, we're still, anytime we get into, like, any argument, anything happens, even the smallest little thing, like, he's screaming at me and getting in my face and pushing me around and hitting my head off walls. Like, there's a hole in the wall at my grandparents' house from where he bashed my head off the wall and knocked everything off in the shelves, and I had to look at my grandma. And I had to tell my Nana that I didn't know where that came from, because I loved him. And I thought in my head, he loves me so much that's why he hurts me. That's why he gets so mad. He loves me so much. He gets so mad that he would hurt me, because that's how badly he wants to be with me. That's not love. And we're married. Yeah. So he convinced me to marry him, which in hindsight is, like, so stupid. I feel so stupid. The whole thing just makes me feel so fucking dumb all the time. And it sucks. It sucks because, like, it sucks because I thought it was real. I thought it was real. And I thought it was special. And I was just stupid. I was just stupid. And I was so desperate to be in love that I let someone beat me and abuse me, because all I wanted was to be happy. Because every lie he told, every day after was nice and he was apologetic, it felt real. Every time they say they're not gonna hit you anymore, you want to believe them. Because all you want in this world is just for them to love you. And you know, he would tell me. So we get married just because he convinced me to marry him. But nobody knew that except, you know, the people that were at our wedding. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Nix for being my maid of honor. I actually have a video of me burning our marriage license up, which I will include because it really did happen. Once upon a time, I got married to someone who's really abusive and crazy. But I'm just a dumb bitch. Not clickbait. This is not clickbait. This is just real. Wow. Good.
Love to see it.
Love it. I can't believe I got married.
That's like.
But I'm also glad that I ripped our marriage license up. Like, all this shit is true. There's people who know, people who have seen it. Everything's true. So we get married, and he convinces me to move away to Cincinnati. Because at this point, like, I was starting to get really scared. And I was telling people what he was doing. After he made me quit my job. And convinced my grandparents that I was a liar. That night, I was so scared of him that I literally jumped out of my moving car at 35 miles an hour and tucked and rolled like I was Bruce Willis or something. Like, I was so scared. And I stayed. Because I loved him. It's hard, and it sucks. And I never thought that this would happen to me. I never thought that this would happen to me. But it did. So we get married, and he convinces me to come live in Cincinnati. And we come up here, and everything's okay for a couple days. And then the people that we're living with, that I'm still living with, because they're my best friends in the whole world, and I would be nothing without them. They've literally given me a new life. Which is awesome. And I'm super grateful. So I know that if I wouldn't have told them what was going on, that he would have killed me. And that sounds so dramatic, but just wait, I'm getting there. So, somehow he convinces me to stay, and he convinces me that we're gonna have a great life, and he wants to get me pregnant, and we're gonna have a family, and he's gonna love me forever. And what girl doesn't want to hear that the person that she loves her just as much, or wants to marry her? I've never imagined anybody wanting to marry me. But when he said it, it sounded so good, you know? That's all I wanted. So, yeah. So, we moved to Cincinnati, and things were good, and then our roommates went on vacation, and I had just gotten a really good job, and I was so excited. Next thing I know, we're getting into these fights, and he's like, "You're so sad here all the time, like, you look so miserable, like, you just moved me from nowhere. None of my friends will talk to me because they all know what he's doing to me. They all know he's beating me, like..." I tried so hard to get away from him, but then, like, somehow he would convince me to stay, and I wanted to stay because I wanted him to be the man that he promised me he would be. I wanted him to be the man that he pretended to be. It just sucks. So anyway, we'd gotten into an argument about me being sad or something stupid, and I went to pack my stuff up, and then shit just started going crazy. It just got so out of hand. He was hitting me, punching me, kicking me, dragging me by the hair of my head around the apartment. He sat on top of my chest and hit my head off the floor because I was trying to scream because I was so scared he was gonna kill me. And he hit my head off the floor until I couldn't see and I couldn't talk. And then he choked me until I puked on myself. And I was so scared. And I've watched so much Law and Order that I was just trying to like claw his arms. That way, like, in case I did die, like, I just wanted people to know, like, it was him. I just wanted people to know that it was him. And so, I don't know, I just thought I was gonna die. And I wanted to come home. I wanted to come home so bad, you have no idea. But you know what I wanted even more? I wanted him to just stop hurting me. And just to love me back the same. But abusers and people like that, they don't know how to love because they don't even love themselves. And if you can take away one thing from this video, it's that if someone puts their hands on you, if they gaslight you, if they mentally, physically, verbally, sexually assault or abuse you, they don't give a fuck about you. Baby, please run. Please, you tell your friends, you tell your family, you tell anyone who will listen. And even though he promises that he's gonna change, he won't. Please believe me. He won't. And I know that by telling anybody, or telling everybody, because he used to get so mad and he would check my phone and he'd be like, why are you telling people, why are you taking pictures of where I hit you, why are you doing this? Like, there are literally people, there's so many people who know what he's done to me. There's so much proof. There's so many, there's like text messages between the two of us, like, there is proof and it happened and it was real. And so I don't care, because abusers are really good at manipulating and they're really good at control, and when they can't control you anymore, they're gonna control the way people see you. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I do not care. Like, this is my fucking truth, and I don't give a fuck if nobody believes me. Like, I was so in love with him. Like, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair what he did to me. And he will do it again and again and again and again. Like, you don't just, like, wake up one day and stop being abusive. Like, and I know that I'm just supposed to, like, move on with my life. But there's not a second that I don't worry, like, what happens when he gets out? Like, will he come find me? Like, that sounds so stupid and it seems dramatic, but you don't understand. And I hope you never do, but if you are in an abusive relationship, please tell somebody. Please tell somebody, because you will die and they will try to kill you. At some point, it might even be an accident. But eventually they will kill you. And every day is so hard. And every day is so hard. But every day is better because now I'm safe and he can't hurt me anymore. If you're crying, begging someone who's supposed to love you to stop hitting you, or to stop hurting you, or to stop hitting your head off of shit, or to stop choking you until you puke on yourself, and they literally spit in your face, that is not love. He doesn't love you, and he doesn't value you. And if he'll lie, if he'll beat the living shit out of you and then have the audacity to tell people that you hit him when you were just trying to save your own life. I don't care what anyone believes. I just want people to know that even though it feels like love, it's not. Even though your brain is telling you this person that you love is doing this horrible thing to you and they don't really mean it, and your brain will tell you, and it will tell you that it's okay, that it's gonna be fine, but it's not. It's not fine. He does not love you, and he will not change. And you shouldn't have to wait around on someone to change. I don't care how attractive he is. I don't care how nice his tattoos are. I don't care how funny he is. That's not him. That's not real. He tricked you. He tricked you. Just like he tricked all the girls before you, and just like he's gonna trick all the girls after you. He does not love you. I just hope that if it feels wrong, if he tries to convince you to marry him after 2 weeks, if you're at the worst point in your life and he holds it over your head and tells you that he's saving your life and you can't leave him, if he tells you people will not believe you, if he tells you that he's doing it because he loves you, please have the courage to walk away. And if you can't walk away, tell somebody. Just tell someone. Tell your parents. Tell your aunt. Tell your brother or your dog or your friend. Just tell somebody. Because you don't want to be me. I would never wish this on anyone. Never. Honestly, I'm trying. And you know what? You don't have to forgive your abuser. You don't. Listen to me. You don't have to forgive your abuser. You are not obligated to. You need to forgive yourself because it's not your fault. I blame myself for what happened every single day. And it is not my fault. It is not my fault what happened to me. And it's not your fault what happens to you. So forgive yourself. You don't have to forgive your abuser. Fuck that. But forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Even though you feel stupid. Even though you hate yourself. Even though you can't even look at yourself in the mirror. Please just try to forgive yourself because it is not your fault. It is not your fault. I just hope that you have the courage that I didn't have. And I hope that when people call you a liar, psychotic, and that it's your fault or whatever people say about you, I hope you stand tall. And I hope you lean on those people in your life that love and care about you. It's not a pretty story, and it doesn't feel good. It's not funny. But that's my truth. That is my truth. And I don't know where to go from here. I have PTSD. A lot of bad shit has happened to me in my life. But this is the worst, considerably the worst. Please don't let him kill you. If someone abuses you, they don't love you. If someone puts their hands on you, they don't love you. And I have to tell myself that every day because I still love him. And that's so fucked up. I've got to sit there and I have to tell myself none of it was real. None of it was real.